Good morning, viewers. I am Dr. Rajashree Pradhan, working as a senior lecturer in the Department of Planning and Management in Diet Rajendranagar. It is a great privilege for me. Today I am here to put forth my views on the topic Total Quality Management, Educational Applications and Leadership in this LNS platform. I am extremely thankful to the Director SCERT Delhi, Mr. Rajneesh Singh, for providing me this opportunity for delivering my views. At the same time, I am extremely thankful the academic head SCERT Dr. Nahas Singh and the whole LNS team for putting their consistent efforts to make this program of Learning Never Stop series a real success. Thank you. Viewer, we'll talk a topic. Excuse me. Hello. Slide. Cut. Hello. Quality. I presentation for this topic, that is the total quality management, educational applications and leadership. First of all, to talk about what should I'm going to take. The presentation outline will talk about the quality in education, then the concept of total quality management, application of TQM education, TQM organizations, how it looks like, then the quality framework of TQM, tools of TQM. I have to talk about the tools of TQM and the specific reference. Right click se jayega. Okay. And so first of all, you talk about quality. What do you mean by the quality? Quality is a very, very elusive concept and very, sometimes it is a very slippery terms because different people views the quality in different. What the meaning of quality itself? Otherwise, there is always danger. You can think there is very moral tone, but very little practical utility. So quality, quality derived from the term quality, which means what kind of which resides the superiority or inferiority of a product or a service. Quality at the same time, quality is an attribute which differentiates a product or a service from its competitor. Anyway, in a nutshell, if you say quality is a very integral part of in our today's life. You have to, everybody need to emphasize the quality of that particular brand in order to survive in this cutthroat competition. So quality importance is so much overemphasized. राइट ना पीछे को आगे जाना है, इसलिए नहीं जा रहा है राइट में. ये वाला राइट वाला ना, राइट वाला कर, ये वाला यू कहते हैं राइट वाला ओके है ना. Now coming to the meaning of quality. From definition, if we talk about, I'll just go through 1 2 definitions so that make the concept clear. The British Standard Institute defines quality in functional terms as a totality of features and characteristics of product or service that bear upon its ability to satisfy the stated or implied needs. That means that characteristic is very much there, what it intends to measure, intends to provide. Next, Navaratnam define 97, who makes it very specific in defining quality. That is, quality is what? In terms of functional utility of a product. Same thing if you go through. Sejwalkar 99 define in a more extensive way. Quality is a very dynamic, at the same time a positive idea, and it has an endless possibilities of evolution. There is ample scope and endless possibility for evolution and unfolding, making it an endless journey with a deliberate purpose, design, but not necessarily a destination. There is so much ways you can go forward. It's not a finishing, not necessarily a destination. So, if in a nutshell, if I say quality of journey is characterized by 3 things. Number 1 is customer focused approach, the most important cardinal principles of quality. Then, to continuous improvement of a process. It may be a process, it may be a product, it may be services. Through what? Through an interdependent system of planning, implementing, evaluating, and design making. So, quality of journey is characterized by 3 things: customer focused first criteria, then continuous improvement of process, product, and services through an interdependent system, both planning, implementing, evaluating, and designing. Then I would think about quality as both absolute and relative connotation. Absolute. Absolute things, when you go for a designer sari or a celebrity wristwatch, that you think as a absolute, because things that exhibit quality are of the highest possible standard that cannot be surpassed, and also it conveys status to that particular owner of that and the positional advantage. In that time, characterized by 3 unique points: uniqueness, different, सबसे हटकर होता है, expensiveness, and prestigiousness. So, absolute quality provides prestige to the owner who have it. So, most of the time when you talk about absolute quality, most of us we admire it. Everybody admires something is very good. We just say, ah, so good. And many of us we just want it, and few of us can have it. This is an absolute meaning of quality. Then relative quality, I'll discuss next slide, but relative has different sets in a given time, how, and over a period of time we talk about. But now I'm thinking about transformational quality. It has less to do with the system and procedure. When you talk about transformational quality, it is completely different. It's not with the systems and procedure, but more to do with the continuous improvement. That time it views quality as a very, very complex process with a very wider canvas, and which can be achieved through leadership. Without leadership, transformational quality cannot be achieved. We'll talk about it in the next. Let's look at the relative quality. The quality, relative notation quality means at different sales. For example, we are going to the market to buy a nail polish. So many brands are available. We have to think about which brand I need. But at a given point of time and a given point of place, so many products of same product, so many qualities are available. Well, I have to compare, as a customer has to compare which one I have to take. Depend on his perspective, his context, his budget, so many things. So quality can be compared at a given point of time and a place. Next, this relativity of quality is very evident when the product or services of the same organization are compared over a period of time. Let us give an example. For example, if I talk about when I was in the school, my school was really very good, amazing, excellent. But now the school hasn't. So that means we have compared the concept of relative quality over a period of time. So in TQM, catchphrase is be the and best stay there. That means when I say best, it is very, very apparently it is an absolute concept. When you say being the best among the better ones, that provides relativity. Now I'm thinking, what is the quality in education? The quality in education has been depicted in the impact, how it influence and impact on an individual. If I say Sa Vidya Ya Vimukti, that means education is what? Education is that which liberates the human beings from the narrow bondages. According to the Indian scripture, education is what? Education is the modesty of the learner. Vidya Dadatim Vinayam. That is, we talk about when somebody is more learned, that is the more modesty comes. Automatically it comes to the person. Education is the ability to discriminate between Paravidya and Aparavidya. Quality, if we talk about quality education, has a very, very strong philosophical underpinning. It's the kind of human being we are going to develop through schooling. Every time, quality education can only be evaluated in terms of the person we are going to develop, human being, through schooling. Because, we give more emphasis and value-centric education. Why we give value-centric education? Because human being is a value configuration. Quality education focuses on identification of the propensity of each of the individual, and first of all identifying the propensity of each individual and nurturing such propensities for the holistic development of individual. That is the most important thing. Total quality is really a function. What is the manifest quality and the optimization of the potential quality? This is, you can say, quality in education. I'm just giving one very. This quality of education, is very, very challenging, very, very sensitive. Why? Because it deals with the most sensitive creation on the earth, that is the human being. Industrial product, once they were finished, this is okay, fine. But education has no finished product. You always are in the process way to be. एजुकेशन हमने बात किया जो ह्यूमन प्रोपेंसिटी से इवॉल्व होता है अनफोल्ड until the last breath, that is from cradle to grave. You just go on educating. Education is a lifelong experience. Same चीजें बताया. International Commission on Education for the 21st century talks about the holistic development of the individual, that is optimizing both the physical, mental, intellectual, and spiritual potentiality. And when the Deller Commission talked about what should be the 4 pillars of learning, they talked about learning that is equally supported by that learning to know, learning to do, learning to be, and learning to live together. This is, you can say, education. Education का जो रूपरेख ऐसे होना चाहिए. That should be. Now I'm giving a very interesting one given by Professor Mukhopadhyay, that is the taxonomy of educated names. That is the informed culture, emancipation, and self-actualization. If I talk about informed, it's the lowest in the hierarchy of taxonomy of educatedness. Information is what? Information is bits of facts, figures, dates. That has to be, when it is organized, it comes to a knowledge. That's all. And the next in the ladder of the taxonomy is a culture. What is that culture? Education is to develop culture in the individual. What is culture? Culture implies an integrated personality, well-rounded personality that emits warmth. And if we say Acharya Vinava Pavis, that Prakriti means nature, then Vikriti, that is deformity, distortion, and Sanskriti, that is the culture. So education is to develop, instill the cultural value among the human beings. Next, if we go emancipation, education is that liberates from the narrow bondages of ignorance, intolerance. Then I talk about on the paper slide that education is that liberates the human mind. That is called emancipation. Sabikda Abhimukti. Final is this self-actualization that is very well announced by Prof. Vivekanand in it. What is the concept of education? It talks about education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man. That self-actualization is that in all the four planes of life, that is the physical, intellectual, social, and emotional. That is called self-actualization. That is the perfection is already man that has to be enfolded. That is called self. So this taxonomy of educatedness. Now I'm coming to हाउ दिस हम बात करते हैं क्वालिटी 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 हमने अभी बात किया इट इज अ वेरी वेरी इल्यूसिव कॉन्सेप्ट तो इट्स वेरी टफ हाउ टू दिस क्वालिटी को हम मैनेज करना है मैनेजमेंट इज द आर्ट ऑफ डूइंग थिंग्स प्रॉपर्ली बट हाउ टू मैनेज दैट क्वालिटी मैनेजमेंट इश्यूज हैव बीन डिफाइंड how the concept of TQM come have to go with evolution, how the concept TQM total quality man, how it comes through a gradual process of human thinking. The quality management issues has been defined as a set of concept, strategy, tools, beliefs which are aimed at improving the quality of the product and services, reducing the waste and saving cost. That means quality हम तभी कहेंगे किसी चीज को जो हमारी कॉस्ट को रिड्यूस सेव करेगा एंड रिड्यूसिंग द वेस्ट कोई भी सर्विस है चाहे कोई भी प्रोडक्ट है तो क्वालिटी मैनेजमेंट total quality control what is that this particular term coined by Fejbaum 83 what to refers it total quality control refers to a spectrum of managerial methods for attempting to maintain the quality of manufactured article at the desired level. It's not a single method, but it is a spectrum of managerial methods. To do what? For attempting to maintain the quality. जो भी quality of article का product का बना, how it tallies to the desired level or not, what to see. So that is for coming to that desired level, you have to deploy so many managerial methods so that that quality can be done you can get the quality of that particular product तो क्वालिटी कंट्रोल में बेसिकली हम ये बात करते हैं इज द डिटेक्शन एंड एलिमिनेशन ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट दैट डोंट मैच द प्रोडक्ट स्पेसिफिकेशन क्वालिटी कंट्रोल में चीजें बन गया उसके बाद हमें देखेंगे डिटेक्ट करके कौन सा में डिफेक्ट है एंड देन यू हैव टू एलिमिनेट द प्रोडक्ट दैट डोंट मैच द प्रोडक्ट स्पेसिफिकेशन बट इट इज ओनली आफ्टर द इवेंट प्रोसेस चीजें हो गया उसके बाद हमें करना है जिसमें कि बहुत सारी चीजें वेस्ट हो जाती सो हाउ टू एंश्योर दैट अल्टरनेटिव फॉर्म ऑफ एंश्योरिंग क्वालिटी इज कॉल्ड क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस इज इन्वॉल्व डिजाइनिंग द सिस्टम टू डिलीवर द क्वालिटी बिफोर द इवेंट कोई चीज होने से पहले हाउ डू यू अश्योर दैट क्वालिटी उसके लिए जो भी हमें डिजाइनिंग करना है दैट इज कॉल्ड quality assurance. It is an before the event. And this emphasis on assurance rather than detection and elimination. इसका मेन एम्फासिस किसमें होता है हाउ टू अश्योर द क्वालिटी इंस्टेड ऑफ होने के बाद उसको एलिमिनेट करना दैट इज प्रिवेंशन इज बेटर देन क्यूर सो दैट इज द क्वालिटी यू हैव टू प्रिवेंट इट बिफोर इट हैपेंस the quality assurance mechanism ensures what the right quality of raw material that is equipment जिसको हम कहेंगे input and along with the rigorous process quality so that product quality is assured. This otherwise mechanism is called zero effect and right first time right every time that is I'll talk about this concept of zero effect as given by the veteran pioneer of TQM that is Juran. We talk about zero defect. So how you can ensure that zero defect if you talk about the quality assurance mechanism. Before you have to assure before you get out of the factory gate before delivery how can you assure that quality that is about quality assurance and TQM is an extension of that quality assurance approach emphasis in developing quality. So now you can I'll talk or think how this concept of total quality management comes. It is gradual process. कोई भी concept आता है takes time. and thinking, then it gradually it comes. First we talk about quality management, then we talk about total quality control, then talk about by quality control में चीजें waste हो जाती है, it is an after event. So in order to protect that, we talk about how to elimination detection पहले करे for ensuring quality, that is quality assurance. That quality assurance एक mechanism है. उसके बाद बात किया भाई total quality assurance we talk about is the total quality management. It's an extension of that. So now just think, the main gurus of TQM, those who are the veteran pioneers who has developed this concept of TQM, Edward Deming, उनका seminal work out of the crisis, very important public. Then Joseph Juran. Juran is the author and editor of so many books, including Juran Quality Control Handbook, Juran and Planning and Quality. And जिन्होंने ये बात किया zero defect के बारे में, just now on the previous slide I talked about. Then Philip B. Crosby, quality is free. Then Tom Peter talks about, if you think about quality is what? Quality is a passion, is a pride. Quality is always, we talk about that is an endless opportunity, is a passion for excellence. That book has been given by Peter. Kaoru Ishikawa is what? Quality control. So we talk about all these books as an enormous influence on the development of teaching. They are responsible. They are the people who came with this concept of TQM. Deming was the first one who introduced this concept of TQM in Japan after the World War II. So they all concentrated on quality issue in industrial setting, although all claim that their ideas are equally applicable to the service industry also, not only industrial setting but also in different service industry also the concept of TQM equally applicable. And also, what is the total quality management? Kaizen is a word that is given in Japanese, have given this word for this. What Kaizen? For the what? The approach to continuous improvement. It is usually accomplished by a series of small scale incremental projects. That means step by step improvement. The philosophy of TQM is the large scale, inspirational, all embarrassing, and its practical implementation is very small scale, highly practical, and incremental, that you talk about step by step improvement. TQM क्या है ये हम पहले बात करते हैं, इसीलिए very important. So I came to what is TQM. TQM is not an imposition. आप किसी के लिए TQM नहीं करोगे कि कोई आपके लिए नहीं करेगा. It can be done to you, not for you, आपके लिए. TQM to work, an institution must itself wants to. कोई भी इंस्टीट्यूशन TQM पे काम करना चाहता है, खुद अपने आप इंट्रोड्यूस करेगा. TQM to work, an institution must itself want to introduce. खुद. It is not inspection. TQM is not an inspection or a control. Control terms is not beyond the literature of TQM. TQM में कभी भी control नहीं है, inspection नहीं है. It is about what? Always trying to do things right first time and every time, rather than occasionally checking if they have gone wrong. कोई भी चीज गलत हो जाता है तब हम कहते हैं अरे ये गलत कैसे कर दिया तुमने. This is not the way. You have to check. You have to give support to that, to doing the things in the right the first time and every time. Then it is not something that only the senior manager do and then pass their directions down the line. ये नहीं है तो topmost head of the institute हमेशा वो करे और बाकी को डायरेक्शन दे. Not necessarily. The total in TQM dictates that everything and everybody in the organization is involved in the enterprise of continuous improvement. This is the main hallmark of TQM, main cardinal principle of TQM, that when you say total, what the term total signifies? Total says everything and everybody. That means every time in a very small work you have to equality, number one. Number two, everybody in the organization have to be involved. एक कोई ये सोचे मेरे से क्या फर्क पड़ेगा, नहीं. Every small things matter. Every individual Each and every work person and institution matters in the enterprise of continuous improvement. TQM is like means everyone, because everyone in the institution, हमने बात किया, whatever may be their status, maybe their position, maybe their role, लेकिन they are the manager of their own responsibility. कुछ भी their status हो, position हो, role हो, इससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. इससे फर्क पड़ता है कि मैं जो काम कर रही हूँ मैं उसके लिए responsible हूँ. So the management etiquette means that everybody is the manager of their own responsibility. That is, a culture should be developed in an institute. Then TQM हम बात करते हैं is a philosophy, एक दर्शन है. What this philosophy implies? TQM philosophy provides an overall concept that fosters continuous improvement in the organization. Next बात करता है this philosophy stresses a systematic, integrated, consistent ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वाइड पर्सपेक्टिव. सिर्फ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की सिर्फ एकेडमिक में करा बाकी में नहीं करा, दैट इज नॉट. ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वाइड पर्सपेक्टिव इन्वॉल्विंग एवरीवन एंड एवरीथिंग. It focuses the primary emphasis on total satisfaction for both internal and external customers within a management environment that seeks continuous improvement of all the processes and systems. TQM philosophy emphasizes the use of people, usually in a multifunctional teams, to bring about improvement from within the organization. That means TQM ऐसे एक philosophy है जो बात करता है continuous improvement. Secondly बात करता है systematic and integrated and consistent, लगातार organization wide perspective by involving all and everyone and everything. So this is the concept of philosophy of TQM, जो कि continuous improvement की बात करता है, लेकिन सबको लेके everyone and everything. Why? Now we talk about what is the necessity, relevance of TQM. That is basically talk about the 4 imperatives of TQM. What is the moral imperative? It is the duty of educational professionals and administrators to have a overriding concern to provide the best possible opportunity. As an institute head, as an education professional, I have to be more concerned. It is my moral obligation and responsibility. I have to provide the best possible opportunity to my students. That is my moral imperative. Next, coming to the competitive imperative. What is in we all are in the world of competition. Competition in the reality in the world of education is very tough. Importance of education is for survival. It is for customer driven process, focusing on the need. What my if we say focusing on the need of the learner, need of the student is the heart of the quality of educational institution. And in order to survive, that is for survival of the fittest, if we talk about, in order to survive, you have to be competitive imperative. You have, and otherwise you cannot exist in this competitive world. But once survival, you need this competitive imperative of TQM. How to provide the best quality to your customer for so that you can survive in this world. Otherwise, you cannot. For example, if you talk about this, during this pandemic, we have all to adapt that new norm. That means how to conduct a virtual class, how to maintain the social distancing, all these virtual pedagogic practices we have to learn. Otherwise, you cannot survive. As a teacher, as an educator, we have to make familiar ourselves with these pedagogic practices because of this competitive imperative. Then professional imperative is a commitment which implies a commitment to the needs of the student and obligation, what my students needs, what my obligation, how to meet their needs and requirement to deploy by employing or deploying the most appropriate pedagogic practices. किस तरीका से pedagogic practice adopt करें so that उनको ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा समझ आए and they can learn. That is my as a educator my professional imperative should be there. Final but not last but not the least, accountable imperative. What is that? If we say any institution, a school, college, they are the part of the community, and community expects from the institution, and our institution must be very much accountable to the community. And accountable what? Accountable publicly to meet the standards, meet the needs and demands, to be more accountable publicly and demonstrate high standards. So this is an accountable imperative of the educational institution TQM. You must. So because of this core imperative of TQM, that is the most relevance. Why you need? What is the relevance of TQM? This. So because of this core imperative, we have to. TQM has a significant potentiality for education. Why? It offers a justification. क्यों? Justification provide करता है and technique for continuous search for quality and excellence के लिए continuous search लगातार search करता रहता है कैसे बेहतरीन होगा because there is always ample scope for developing improving the quality. दूसरी बात कहते हैं it develops a willingness. हमारे मन में एक इच्छा पैदा होना है जो मैं कैसे अच्छे से अच्छे करूं. It develops a willingness, hence a culture for change, so that organization to be more flexible and responsive. We all have to change. That means a culture of change should pervade. Change is the law of life, but we always, sometimes as a person, really stick to the what is happening is okay. Some change comes, we become very perplexed. So, considering, but change is the law of life. You have to adapt to change, otherwise you cannot survive. So, कल्चर फॉर चेंज एक कल चेंज के लिए हमारे मन में इच्छा और एनवायरमेंट वातावरण विलिंगनेस होना जरूरी है सो दैट आज ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वी कैन बी वेरी वेरी फ्लेक्सिबल एंड रेस्पॉन्सिव टू द डिमांड ऑफ द टाइम. समय के अनुसार अपने को बदलना, उस तरीका से अपने को डालना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. द टीक्यूएम मेक्स ए क्वालिटेटिव शिफ्ट इन डिसीजन मेकिंग on the location of decision making by the active participation irrespective of their hierarchy in the organization and decision making based on fact. Decision making qualitative shift करना है TQM in case. कैसे? Why to make qualitative active participation of all the persons in the organization. सबका active participation होना बहुत जरूरी है. Whatever may be their hierarchy in the organization, and at the same time decision making based on the facts also. So TQM in search of a meaning education में TQM in education कहें the nurture a vibrant familial ambience in the एक इंस्टीट्यूट में अच्छा एम्बियंस क्रिएट करना सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट TQM का. अदरवाइज एम्बियंस अच्छा नहीं होगा आपको इंस्टीट्यूट जाने में यू आर नॉट स्टिमुलेंट टू गो. सो ambience matter करता है. So you have to nurture a vibrant familial ambience in the institute. Ensure proactive participation of all the partners in the institute. Create awareness that schooling is a holistic living experience. Schooling सिर्फ not to literate. इसीलिए गांधी जी कहते हैं literacy neither the end or beginning of education. By education I mean all round drawing out of the best. That means a holistic living experience when you say schooling. Create a mechanism for expression, mutual concern among the partner schooling. Record that, consult the students and the parents about their. हमेशा एक म्यूचुअल कंसर्न रखना चाहिए जो हमारी बेनिफिशियरी जो स्टूडेंट से पार्टनर से जो हमारी एम्प्लॉय से एक मैकेनिज्म हमें रखना पड़ेगा जो फ्री एंड म्यूचुअल एक्सप्रेशन कर सकते हैं. डेवलप collective future vision, long-term and short-term prospective plan. Develop indicators of quality and benchmark for each major and minor activity. Institute में कोई भी activity है उसके लिए हमें parameter indicator of quality किसको हम कहेंगे yes I have achieved this. That is called the benchmark for each and minor and major activity के लिए हमें रखना चाहिए. Define the quality parameter in every sphere and every activity. सारी चीज में क्वालिटी पैरामीटर रखना जरूरी है। कोई छोटे से छोटे एक्टिविटी है, whatever may be, then have to review and redefine the goals and target for continuous। कोई भी काम हो जाता है, हम उसको